Okay, so I wanted to re-record this video I made earlier. This is in regards to the basically the fintech paradigm of with standard credit card payments. This is a Stripe plugin on a WordPress WooCommerce site. You enter your card number, your details, and then you click place order. And what that does is it goes and checks with Stripe whether your payment will be authorized or not. When it is authorized, then it takes you to a new page and says, okay, this checkout and this payment has been authorized. Your order is finalized. Thank you for your order. Thank you for paying us money. Sends off an email to the admin, says go ahead and fulfill the order, and it does all that. And so it seems like when you click this button and then it goes in back in and authorizes, and then the next page that it takes you to is just a thank you, we're done page. But really what's happening in the background is it's actually calling WooCommerce is calling a process payment method, and that really doesn't make sense to do that with Dash or Bitcoin, because what happens, when I click pay with Dash, I could stick an address to be paid right there. I could stick a QR code right there and allow someone to pay right from this screen. But what happens when they pay but they don't click place order for whatever reason? It could be any reason. They could forget, their browser could crash, their system could get a power surge and go down or whatever. I don't really think it makes sense to allow a user allow a user to pay for an order without first creating that invoice. Because what happens is if that did happen, a user paid and then say they just forgot to click that button, they might think that they had something coming to them, and they wouldn't. They'd be really confused, and it just doesn't make sense, because there's fintech, there's a new paradigm. You don't ask for fields and then have those fields go access a certain amount out of an account. Instead, you ask for a payment. So what happens when you click the place order with this button is that it will create an invoice first, and then it says, okay, now we've created an invoice, we've created an order, now we're asking you to pay. And then once you pay, and not until you pay the full amount here to this Dash address, once that happens, then the order fulfillment emails will go out. The thanks for paying, your order is complete email goes out only at that time. So with fintech, we kind of have to break that up into two steps, because it's only logical in order to do that. And for another demonstration, I wanted to show the BitPay model. This is a Namecheap. You can add funds to Namecheap with Bitcoin. So if I wanted to, I'm just going to create a test invoice for say $3, go to BitPay. I think that this model that BitPay uses makes a lot more sense for fintech. You click that you want to pay, and then an order is created. This is an invoice right here, and it shows bitpay.com invoice. You get an invoice ID, and then they give you the QR code. They tell you send this much to this address, and they've got a timer. It expires when that reaches 0. And this makes more sense for fintech, because then you're just waiting. They're just waiting, sitting here waiting for a payment to come across on the network, and immediately once one does, then they'll redirect you back to Namecheap or whatever the merchant is, so that you can finish up, so that the merchant can credit your account, or the merchant might wait for the number of confirmations before crediting your account or whatever. And so I think that paradigm makes a lot more sense than the previous one established by credit card companies, just because it's a different system. It's a push payment system versus a pull payment system. Thanks for watching.